Imagine for a moment that you're waking up in a sleek, sun-drenched apartment. You pull back the curtains to see the Empire State Building piercing the skyline. But as you pan your gaze to the left, the Eiffel Tower is standing right there. Just a few streets away, you hear the hum of 30 million people, the distant chime of Big Ben, and the smell of fresh Italian espresso wafting up from the pavement. It sounds like a dream, or perhaps a movie set, doesn't it? But then you look up and, instead of blue sky or drifting clouds, you see the shimmering, deep turquoise of the Indian Ocean, with schools of silverfish dancing over your head. Welcome to Cremenos. This isn't just a city. It's a mosaic of human history, a sanctuary built on the sea floor, and the most ambitious project ever attempted by mankind. It is the world's first truly hidden metropolis, a place where the rain never falls unless we flip a switch, and where the sun sets exactly when we tell it to. The city under the glass, the year is 2300, and the world above has changed. But don't erre, 300 miles from the nearest coastline, life is remarkably still. Cremenos was born from the collective will of 30 nations who wanted to create a masterpiece. They didn't just want a bunker. They wanted a monument to everything we love about our surface-side homes. They named it after the Greek word for hidden, and they designed it to be a living museum of our greatest architectural hits. If you fancy a stroll, you can walk from the red-tiled roofs of Lisbon to the neon-soaked streets of Tokyo in less time than it takes to boil a kettle. You've got the Gateway Arch of St. Louis, casting a shadow near the dancing house of Prague. It's a city that shouldn't exist, held together by a glass dome 3 feet thick, protecting 30 million souls from the crushing weight of the abyss. For someone like John, Cremenos isn't a holiday destination. It's just home. John is part of the first generation actually born in the Div. His knees might creak a bit more than they used to, and his hair has gone the color of a London fog. But he knows these streets better than the engineers who built them for 50 years. John has been a window cleaner. Now, that might not sound like the most glamorous gig in a high-tech, underwater utopia, but think about it. In a city where the sky is made of glass, the man with the squeegee is the only reason anyone can see the Starsur. The sharks, a final handover. John's retirement is only 6 months away. He spent half a century driving his battered pickup truck through the 32 districts from New York to Second Seoul. He's tasted the gravy-soaked chips of the Montreal district and inhaled the spicy, fermented kick of kimchi in the streets of the Seoul sector. But today is different. Today, he's not just cleaning, he's passing on the torch. He meets his replacement, a lad named Theo, on the artificial sands of Little Lisbon. Theo is young, only 16, with that nervous energy of someone who hasn't quite settled into the idea of living under billions of gallons of water. He's just moved here from Porto, a city on the actual surface, and you can see the slight trepidation in his eyes. He looks at the glass dome and sees a fragile barrier. John looks at it and sees a shield. "Don't worry, mate," John tells him, tossing a stone against the glass. It bounces off with a dull thud. "You're safer down here than you are up there. No lightning strikes to worry about in the cellar of the world. Beyond the barrier boat, to truly understand Cremenos, you have to leave it. John decides to give Theo the ultimate induction. They head over to the submarine house, a massive glass structure shaped like the Taj Mahal, which serves as the city's main terminal. They trade their denim overalls for scuba suits, strap on air tanks, and step into the airlock. The transition is a shock to the system. One moment you're in the dry, climate-controlled air of a shopping mall. The next, the hush of the ocean swallows you whole. This is John's favorite part of the job. Out here, the city looks like a glowing jewel box dropped into the dark dot as they swim along the exterior of the dome, scrubbing away the stubborn algae and the slime left behind by a school bus-sized octopus. The magic of the deep reveals itself. Schools of neon fish pinks, greens, and purples so bright they look like they're plugged into the city's power grid around them. A sea turtle, ancient and drifts past with a look of mild annoyance. They swim all the way to the very peak of the dome. From that vantage point, the city below looks like a massive bowl. You can see the central pond where the 8 main roads meet like spokes on a wheel. You see the London Eye spinning slowly, the Colosseum standing proud in the Rome district, and the gleaming skyscrapers of Beijing. It's a testament to what we can do when we stop fighting over borders and start building something beautiful. The call of the Servicias. The sun. The massive artificial lights at the top of the dome begins to dim into a warm, simulated sunset. John and Theo return to the dry world. The boy's fear is gone, replaced by the same wonder that has kept John going for 50 years. Theo is already planning his weekends, wanting to visit every one of the 32 districts, to learn the languages and taste the bread in every corner of their hidden world. But for John, seeing the city through a young man's eyes has sparked something else. He spent his life cleaning the glass that looks out at the world, but he's never actually stepped onto the soil of the city's Cremenos mimics. He's decided that in his retirement, he's going to see the real London. He wants to ride the actual London Eye and see a sky that isn't made of reinforced glass. Cremenos is a masterpiece, no doubt about it. It's a triumph of engineering and a sanctuary of peace. But as John looks up at the darkening water one last time, he realizes that while man can replicate the beauty of a city, nothing can quite replace the vast, unpredictable soul of the world above. The story of Cremenos reminds us that even when we build our own heavens, we never quite lose our curiosity for the world we left behind. If you enjoyed this deep dive into the underwater city, why not give that like button a gentle tap? It helps our stories reach more explorers like you. And if you want to be there for our next journey, whether it's to the stars or the bottom of the sea, make sure to subscribe and hit the bell. Now, close your eyes, imagine the gentle hum of the deep-sea currents, and have a wonderful night's sleep. Sweet dreams. Thank you for allowing me to be a part of your night. May you find deep peace and restful sleep. Wishing you the sweetest dreams. If you liked it, please like, comment, and subscribe. Bye.